So it is Sunday, and I've decided I'm going to be playing Stellaris regularly on a Sunday. So if anyone was on here earlier, you'll have seen that I had a bit of a tough start. So we've gone for the Doomsday scenario, Origin. So in our system, Baba, you'll find we have a major problem. Our homeworld is due to explode in somewhere between 30 and 40 years now. So the habitability is already dropping, and okay, there are some perks, in terms of gaining alloys, minerals, energy credits, things like that. Problem is, we are losing in other areas. So amenities are crashed, stability's a bit low. Um, all in all, pretty bad stuff. And unfortunately, I mean, I was enjoying this earlier on, but unfortunately, it was kind of exacerbated by the fact that if you look around, the options for colonisation are pretty dire. So we are still hunting for anything even vaguely good. But beggars can't be choosers. So as I'm worried about my home planet blowing up, we have plumped for this as the least bad of the two options. Habitability 20%. Ugh. So this is going to have huge negative impacts on our development, but we do need to get something that's not our home planet. So we're going to be spending huge amounts on amenities, on upkeep. So I don't know where this is going to leave us in terms of economy. We're still searching. We did find an alpine world in Jalal. Unfortunately, stuck behind 3,000 fleets worth of enemies. So we're not going to be able to access that for some time. I haven't even built a ship yet in terms of defensive. We've got our colony ship for Moscot underway. There we are, really. Could be a lot worse, I suppose. The food production's not great. I built, which I normally do, and I maybe should have thought about this a little bit more. I almost always do build a second alloy plant, but maybe in this case, hang on. Maybe in this case it might have been better to build something for food. Other thing is, I've just realised this is hardly useful for us at the minute. And that could free up some workers to do something else. So, the last thing we need more consumer goods, not less. And admin cap, yeah, you know what? I'd love to have admin controlled, but it's hardly our most critical problem right now. So maybe we should ditch that in favour of an agriculture district, so at least the food would be under control. And in the meantime, at least we wouldn't be paying up, so that would save us 2 on upkeep and save us a load of consumer goods. Yeah, I think that's a win-win, so let's demolish that. So we now do have an unemployed specialist, but I don't care. At the moment, I don't care. Whatever else we can build in there will be more useful. Sonified science. The ISS Alenza the Fortunate have succeeded in isolating a signal. The signal is a song, a complex sonification of an advanced mathematical equation, to be precise, and one that Science Officer Tetran cannot seem to get out of their head. Who or what may have composed the song remains unknown, although its complexity infers an incredible amount of technological sophistication. Curious. More importantly for us, easy research. And we've found another. Reported scans of Grekel 6's surface give inconsistent sensor readings. almost as if the planet itself was in a constant state of upheaval. Is challenging. Leave B for now. I think priority number one is still planets. What's that? Large amounts of ship debris. Yeah, also, same token, please leave B for now. Ugh, it just feels wrong. Okay, but for now, let's close that choke. Haven't encountered any other aliens yet, which is probably very good news. This was something I had forgotten about. So we've got workers versus specialists. So we could probably do with a different specialist. Even a consumer goods factory would be more use, though. So I think it's probably still the right decision. Oh, another anomaly. We briefly detected unusual energy readings from this moon. It may have been a glitch in our systems, or it could have been a sign of something more. Oh, hello. You're back. Hi, Kuro. No, sadly, it wasn't a dream. Just, well, the same old problem, I'm afraid. Well, it's as bad as it was before I took that break. One thing I have learned is have a glass of water handy when you're streaming, especially if you're doing a lot of actual talking. Yeah, I know. Noob's mistake, isn't it? But lesson learned. Lesson learned. Some problems are good problems to have. So yeah, we're basically where we were beforehand. Still looking out for a. Oh, story-heavy games. I was going to ask if you stream, yeah, because forgive me, I'm quite new on Twitch. I've only been this is what my first weekend really of streaming. And I don't know what that little symbol by your name means yet. I was going to Google it, but I didn't have time. But yeah, some of the story-heavy stuff. I was I was thinking about the sort of stuff it'd be nice to stream. There was a really good one I played a while back called Life is Strange. Brilliant, really, really good if you like story stuff. But I don't think it'd work once you. Oh, you're Prime. You see how new I am at this. It's pretty new. Um, yeah, there's a really good one called I think it's Life is Strange. Really story driven, really clever. But problem is once you've seen the story, I wouldn't react in the same way I would have reacted the first time round. You know, plot twists and things like that. So I don't know if you caught what I was saying earlier. By the way, um, I did demolish a building here. I had an admin office here, and I realised. So what the admin office does is it basically gives you guys who reduce empire sprawl at the expense of consumer goods, which I'm running pretty low on. Um, so I've demolished that. It saves me a bit of money. Yes, I'm now over my admin cap, so I'm suffering a little bit on technology and things like that. But I think it's probably a good trade-off in this case. One thing I had forgotten though is I've now made two unemployed specialist pops. You see them here. And of course, there aren't any jobs for the specialist pop, so even though there's unemployment for my workers, they don't want to take that job. I don't know how to write it. Oh, Empire Sprawl. Um, it's basically a bit of you know in these sorts of games you can play wide or you can play tall. It's basically a bit of a penalty about playing wide. So if you look here, as your empire grows, Empire Sprawl will tick up. So at the moment it's at 35, and my yeah Sprawl. That's probably my accent. So um, I'm from near London originally, and I don't have much of the accent really, but I do occasionally get it. So sprawl, that's cool. That's cool. But yeah, so basically, as your empire gets bigger from everything, so systems, districts. So districts are these zones on in your empire, on your planets. What is your first language, if you don't mind me asking? I'm learning a bit of Welsh at the moment, and I've only started during lockdown. Whew, yeah, it is pretty hard to pick up foreign languages. Right. But yeah, that building anyway wasn't doing me much good. So I'm taking basically a slight tech penalty, a slight tradition penalty, and I'm not doing any campaigns. I'm close to the UK. Ah, that's good enough. Yeah, fair enough. Um, that still leaves an awful lot of languages. Try to stay calm. This is a great day for the Starfox Commonwealth. Um, our colony ship has gently touched down on the outskirts of a large oasis. Well, it's good to know there's at least one. Located at the foot of a large mountain, this ideal location provides shelter from the wind and has easy access to water. The ship has been permanently converted into the admin headquarters. Oh, hello, Magetar. How are you doing? The ship has been permanently converted into the administrative headquarters, and reactor core is in the process of being removed so that it may serve as the colony's temporary power source. Hundreds of small tents and prefab shelters have sprung up as the colonists begin to disembark in large numbers. Whoa, calm down, Magetta. Just bear in mind I won't be able to understand anything in French or Spanish. Even with that crazy upside down question mark in there. Nice. There is a gate here. It's curiosity, isn't it? So we found a wormhole here and a gate here. Um, yeah, oh no, I'm fascinated by languages. That's all. So just always curious. Oh, salut. That's not far off the limit of my French, but enjoy the stream anyway. Yes, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. No, I used to share a flat with a French guy. Um, when I was in my previous job, so I have a great appreciation for France. Um, so I've got a friend from Bourgogne, Burgundy, and oh, I can't remember the name of the town now. Porcelain place. Um, Northern France. Yeah, cool. Hello. Whoa, 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 whoa. What have we got here? Whoa, whoa, whoa. We actually have a planet that might be suited to our species. Yeah, it is far away, but it's probably important enough that it's worth making a bit of a beeline to. So it's big. Um, Stop what you're doing and survey that system. It's a big planet, which that's not that one. Come on, the one that's big. Not that one. The other one. Right. Oh, for crying out loud. Yeah, so it's big. That's good. Gives us lots of capacity for building things. And okay, it's not frozen, but at least it's really cold. So we won't suffer quite the same This in terms of economics is going to be a far better planet. So if we go and have a quick look at Moscot, which it's really hard to get enthusiastic about. No, that's not right. There we are. Oh, we're still colonising, so we're not producing anything yet. It is far away, but I can get there quickly enough. I'm already building a station here, and I think it it is important enough. We should just beeline for it. Bunker bot. We have traced the unusual electromagnet. I can see the chat becoming rapidly overtaken. I do understand a little bit of French, but it's really rusty. I just about understood that you'd studied somewhere, Magetta. We've traced the unusual electromagnetic radiation emanating from Grekel 8A. No, it's cool. I think Magetta's a bit of a linguist. I'll bet it is. I'll bet it is. So we have found something interesting. So this is one of our anomalies. We've traced the unusual electromagnetic radiation to a secret subterranean bunker hiding a megacomputer the size of a battleship. Our researchers suspect that it may have been there for several thousand years, hard at work solving a single very complex problem, the nature of which still eludes us. When the crew attempted to interact with the computer, they discovered that the facility, which had appeared both abandoned and unguarded, is in fact operated by a security AI, the highest purpose of which seems to be frying its visitors alive. As the crew defeated the AI, it broadcast a message to an unknown recipient. So we can scrap it for parts, use it to boost our own research, which would give us plus 10% engineering research for 120 months, or we can let it continue its mysterious calculations. I don't know if you guys on the chat have a preference. I always feel that you probably get more storyline for doing some of these, but I would quite like the influence. Although research is good. And strangely enough, normally I wouldn't mind the resources, but they're not mission critical right now. And it's a one-off. So I don't know if you've got a preference, chat, or not. Mikab has leveled up. That's very nice. Well, at least it's looking up whatever else happens. If I can get to that. Oh, crumbs. I've just noticed the food, yeah. Yeah, it's not brilliant. -6 and I'm on 1. That's probably a good hint to go for the to go to the market. The only good news is I do have decent output of minerals and credits. I don't get that. Let's ignore that. Time to buy some food. Yeah, so as you might expect, as your population rises, right? If you guys haven't got a strong preference, by the way, I'm going to go for letting it continue its mysterious calculations on Grekil 8A. As you might expect, you do need food to feed your colonists. Probably not the world's most shocking revelation. Let's go with that. Boom. So more food can be made by building these districts. And I'm clearly going to have to do one of those sooner rather than later. And I need something to keep my specialists teching along. Um, I'm probably going to go for. I'm probably going to go for the civilian industries, which will give me artisans. So at least I'll have some consumer goods coming in. And yeah, the food is looking bad. And if you guys could get on with the mining stations there. Found another anomaly. Strong energy missions of an unknown origin make this asteroid stand out from the rest of its peers in this crowded asteroid field. So yeah, that's a relatively easy one. So let's have a look at that. And then Grekil is where that supercomputer thing is. Which one was it? It was Grekil 8A. Interesting. Doesn't leave anything on there. So we've left it doing its thing. And there is an anomaly in the black hole. Oh no, strategic resource. So during its survey of XT81 Singularity, we have found dark matter. It has many properties that seemingly defy natural laws. It could potentially revolutionise the sciences. While we do not yet possess the means to extract this resource, we should seriously consider establishing control. Yep, I do agree with that. The only good news being... That's this one, isn't it? Oh, it's not showing up because there's an anomaly there. That's fine. Oh, so that is the anomaly we've just found. An unknown phenomenon has been discovered near XT81. It is causing the light to be frequently retracted and occasionally even entirely blocked out. Yeah, that's cool. So at Kuro, just if you do enjoy story-driven stuff, some of the best mods for this game are around that I've found are basically giving you more anomalies and more events, but certainly the anomalies. And there can be some really nice Easter eggs in there for various series that you've wanted. They don't. Some of them can be a little bit gameplay breaking. Obviously, if you think of all the things you've ever encountered in science fiction, but most of it's just flavour. So it's not compatible with Iron Man if you go for achievements. But if you just want a really rich game, without enemies, you can certainly radically reduce the number of. You can certainly radically reduce the number of enemies. I don't know if you can play it with 0. There's also archaeological sites that you can find. In fact, I'm surprised I haven't seen one yet. So, it, it adds an awful lot of flavour to the game. Just these anomalies are great, but there's some really good ones. And Paradox did a free I think it's free, a free little story pack that it's fairly hard to trigger, but something called the Horizon Signal is a really just a really fun series of events and anomalies that you can follow. I think if I was going to say that there's one thing that the base game, even with all the expansions, could do with more of. Oh, I don't know if I'm familiar with all of the different theories concerning aliens. I think that there is aliens just not close to us is more or less where Stellaris has gone with it. I think Magetta has sent me quite a few links to things talking about aliens in the past. So what's it called? There's a paradox. If these aliens are all around us, why have we not heard anything from them? I forget the name of the paradox. You may well know it. But there's... Oh, what's the name of the paradox? That's going to really annoy me. The Fermi paradox. Thank you, Magetta. And yeah, all these solutions to the Fermi paradox, maybe they're right here. They just don't want to say anything. Maybe they've evolved themselves and left the galaxy. I think all of those things are really, really cool. Well, we might as well investigate this phenomenon as we're sat here. And I do want to, if there's dark matter there, I do want to take it. So there's loads of aliens, they're just not close to us. That's the solution. Oh, there's another anomaly. If you look when you mouse over, you do get quite a helpful little crosshair thing. So at least you know where you're looking at. And you can also go to with the buttons as well, which is quite handy, Kuro. So if you just want to go and have a quick look, you can see, and there's our science ship doing its thing. In fact, let's zoom in on the science ship a little bit. So there we go, doing its thing. Go away. Exploring the world. Well, it's not a world, it's a lump of rock, but exploring. Right. I'm wondering if we should consider building a second construction ship. So that computer event's given us a bit of influence to play with. And we've got plenty of alloys. Do you know what? Yeah, let's do it. I think we're going to be reliant on space for most of our resources for a while. So let's... And we want to rush for this. Yeah, okay, let's get another construction ship, because that's obviously another system we can be developing at any given time. So go to your shipyard. Let's have a construction ship. I do not even know how to pronounce that. Ilmasa class? For the linguists, it's probably Ilmasa in Welsh, I guess. Ilmasa. Anyway, I don't even know. It's just a weird sounding name. Not quite as bad as my Empire Homeworld name, but still pretty bad. So, pros and cons of having the second construction ship. Pros, you expand faster. Cons, it puts more pressure on your resources, particularly influence, but we've had a bonus of 200 in, so I'm more willing to consider that now. And I'm waiting for this to tick up to 400 so I can build a building on Vababa. Here we go. So we've had two things come at the same time. So firstly, asteroid B1R M11 is pockmarked with craters from weapon blasts and appears to have been used as a target range by someone roughly 2 millennia ago. Residual energy readings suggest that they tested increasingly exotic weaponry, including subspace bombs, I don't know what a subspace bomb is, and some kind of singularity generator. Our scientists would be interested in studying the unusual energy echoes that remain. I think, was that the one in Tium? It was. So basically, it's a great site for physics research. So if you look at this system now, we've potentially got already, and we haven't finished surveying it, +5 physics research. Oops, wrong button, sorry. Which if you look, our total output at the moment is 20. So when you remember in the first stream, Kuro, where you were saying, oh, is that a long time to research? Yeah, it is. But we can basically increase our research by 25% just by building stations in this system. So you can very, very quickly start to build up. And handily, we're also getting more physics from researchers now. Although, yeah, it took ages. We're not getting that much. A bit reluctant to do it in the first place, but yeah, almost 7. But imagine, yeah, knocking a quarter off that would be really, really handy. So let's have a look. But as you might expect, tech gets more expensive as it gets more exotic. So it doesn't necessarily scale that the time is always going down. And when Magetta was talking earlier about sort of tech surging, you want to try and stay ahead of the curve so that you're doing more tech research than... so you're ahead of the increasing costs, basically. So what have we got? We have improved... Hang on. So we have another scientific breakthrough, which makes sense. We started them at the same time. Similar, but for society research. That's fine. We'll close that. You can see if you're not researching, it does warn you. And I would take these ones very seriously because there's really no good reason to not research. So so physics is giving us a couple of ship components. So deflectors, as you might expect, we've probably already got deflectors on our ships, and a fusion reactor. So fusion reactor, does it tell you? No, it doesn't actually tell you. It's straight up more power, as you might expect. It's a reactor, and the improved deflectors basically use a bit more power but get more shield points. I think I might go for this. If you're going to take automated exploration protocols, now is the time. So it increases your survey speed and gives you an automatic exploration option. So I think I will take that. It saves on a bit of the micromanagement with your ships because you can automate them. And plus, again, I do like to get the information at the beginning. You never know, we might find an amazing planet up. Well, we won't find a planet, but an amazing system here. There might be just something so good we want to go for it. And as we don't know where the enemies are yet, that could become very, very important. And then society-wise, well, okay, so tile blockers you've probably seen already, I guess. So I won't explain that unless needed. So we've got hydroponics farms, which could be quite handy for us. Again, I wouldn't normally bother, but no, let's stick with plan A. I'd normally go for growth speed. More pops is more workers is more resources. So I think I will stick with that. And then Hoghanon is still going with the afterburners. Probably wasn't the best tech to get first up. The other thing to just be aware of, these guys are level 2. We have got a Adenius out here somewhere. Still level 2. But, you know, again, if you're min-maxing, when you get to level 3, you will have a tiny little bit of extra research speed. So it might be worth considering subbing him in. Or her. I don't know if these things have genders. We've also got a second construction ship. So we want to rush for this area. So it is a long way away. So one way of dealing with that is to get 2 construction ships on it. So note the influence cost for a province bordering us, for a system bordering us, is quite low. If we go for it straight away, we can't even afford it. Oh, it's not surveyed. But if we went for Tiamat, you'll see it's actually double the cost. So you kind of do need to build a chain. And you can end up, especially in the early game, you can end up with some quite ugly looking systems. Also, this is quite a nice bottleneck. It's also got a gateway in it, which, Magetta, you might be horrified at this, but I haven't played huge amounts with gateways. So that's something to look forward to later in the game. Tyrim's been surveyed. I probably will get that relatively quickly. So just expand naturally. Yeah, well, you tend to at the beginning. Gateways, they're good. They can connect you to the end of the galaxy. Yeah, in terms of expansion, at the beginning it often looks a bit weird because, like, here we go. We're going to rush up here to try and get this system. So you end up with all these gaps like that. If you like a beautiful looking map, that hole in Oshimir is a bit ugly. But then it's very hard for anyone else to colonize that now. Yeah, there are. Yeah, I mean, one of them's rubbish, so we've surveyed one of them. But I mean, when I say rubbish, my opinion on what rubbish is has changed. We can't colonize it. That's fine. I just want to look at it for now. So it's only a 15% habitability planet. with low gravity. Yeah, of course, because it wouldn't be. It would just be nice to have something that improved habitability on one of these planets. Building's cheaper, which yeah, okay, it's all right. But yeah, it's nice. It's a good. That's a good system. Let's be fair. That's a good system. Huge planet should be good for us, and this is just a bonus then. Because again, with our current tech, it's not going to be productive for a while, and there's an anomaly there. Okay, again, it's hard, and this guy's on critical work at the moment. We need to get that surveyed as quickly as possible. Yeah, you can. Yeah. So again, in this game where we're really struggling, no, you're absolutely right. In terms of habitability, robots are great. Particularly at the beginning, they're a bit limited in the jobs they can do. So they're great for things like mining, brilliant. Farming, brilliant. So you need to pick and choose carefully. As you tech up, the robots become more and potentially more and more intelligent. Exactly, going back to like you would see in many science fiction series. So you can gradually get them to droids and then basically sentient beings. Um, and yeah, the habitability for us is diabolical. So we're probably going to use robots quite a lot. Um, so going back to this awful planet down here. Sorry, let's do it this way. Yeah, I think so. And especially with the habitability, as Magetta is just saying, especially with the habitability problems we've got on most of the options here, it turns them from being a bit like this world. I really didn't. Normally, I probably wouldn't have colonised it. It's only the threat of our homeworld blowing up that really drove me to do it. But it will turn this world from being a bit rubbish to being, yeah, okay, pretty viable. It's really strong, yeah. It's basically doubling your growth. You've got two means of growing. Breathing Rift. So this is the guy I think researching XT81. Yeah. The anomaly found close by XT81's singularity, however unlikely, appears to be some type of rift in space. It's possible the great mass of XT81 singularity somehow caused it, but its nature is beyond our understanding. The rift not only retracts and blocks light, but it seems to actually draw in and then push out repeatedly as if it were breathing photons. It is likely the immense gravitational pull of the rift has at some point inhaled other things as well. We should exercise caution. So we've got Runaway. We do gain experience, that's pretty good. Study it from a safe distance, so essentially convert that into a tech research spot, and a pretty good one. Or, and I don't really know what that one's going to do, but I am curious. Should we keep a close watch until we know more? What do you reckon? I think I'm always in favour. In terms of flavour, it's probably it's undoubtedly the best. That's good, but it's just more resources. That's okay, but when your leaders die, they die, so it's transient. I must admit, I don't know offhand what this one does. So, any preferences in the chat? Or happy just to see which way it goes? I shall take that as a neutral answer for now. Hopefully, we're not getting lag again. Right, I'm going to go for the one that's more flavour. So, well, there is my planet exploding. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's a lot of research. Having just talked about research, that is, where are we? Research. That's a pretty serious chunk of our total research if we went for it. I'm not too bothered about the experience because scientists do die, so that's not going to save our home world. I don't know what this one does. Let's do it. So it'll establish a special project. So let's keep it close. So special projects. I'm surprised it hasn't updated already. Special projects in your situation log. So we now have... Oh, it's relatively... Let's do it. Oh, and Magetta was saying... Is there something that can help you in physics research anyway? Yeah, exactly. We're going to get... We've got other places we can get physics research from. Not least Tyrim, which is just as good as a system, really. And yeah, there are options for improving your research. So yeah, I think this could be more fun. I can't remember what it does. I don't know what it does. So let's see. Magetta earlier was saying I should definitely research these as well. So the alpha aliens are the ones that are sitting here. You never know. They might be friendly. I didn't actually get to see what they were. So let's go with that. Research. And let's do it now. Research. Because in both of these cases, we're just at the beginning anyway. Need to keep an eye on food. Thank you for the tip off earlier, because I am forgetting it. We have briefly detected some unusual energy readings. Please don't be our homeworld. Right. Our new homeworld. They're usually randos, so with a little bit of experience, you can tell. Yeah, we'll research that one. I'll just get these going while two of them. Oh, leave that one for now. Yeah, that's fine. The ones that hang around on planets like this, especially if they're very powerful at the beginning of the game, tend to be randos. And where was the other one? The other one was down here somewhere. Here we go. Yeah. And you do learn to identify them quite quickly. So these randos can be handy. This is a nice protection for this area at the moment, so I don't need to rush down here yet. Apart from the fact they're hostile and block me. But there's different types. I didn't even see which one this one is, so it's a genuine. I have a good idea which type this one was. I did see enough on the map when we were on this system when we were looking at it. But in terms of keeping the suspense, I'm happy to leave that one at the moment. And as Magetta was saying earlier on, just researching them potentially gets you other projects, influence, things like that. When you're looking out for other empires, what you want to be looking for is sort of systems and planets that are behaving similar to you. So you'll often see scout ships or science ships out. You can always take a look and see if they're scanning things. It gives you a pretty good idea it's probably another empire. Other thing to check out is there some sort of station around the central sun? Again, if there's a station on the sun, probably another empire. There are different qualities of other empires, though. So they at the beginning of the game, there is a range of power out there. I really could do with getting another building up here. How many unemployed have I got? Still 2. Okay. Let's just keep looking for a little while. So that's the survey done there. Other thing is you can see if there are any outstanding anomalies in a system. So when you've got your science ships, so if I select my military, not much going on. Science ships, you can see I've left a load of these anomalies earlier on. Particularly the high level ones, like a level 10. That's going to be a slow research. Level 4, level 5, 6. But the flip side is they might be really good. The alien precursors, ancient precursors, are almost always high level. So I think that's an ancient precursor. Yeah. So you can see on the situation log, the precursor activities are both really high. I don't think so. I think they hang around. I've never had a problem with it. So yeah, I would feel really happy just to research them at your heart's content. The only risk you do have as these territories start to be claimed, which so I'm not really worried about in this area, but say here or here where we might have another empire, is other empires can claim the territory you've got, which potentially obviously makes them inaccessible, but that's not quite the same thing. Just keep an eye on that all of these things are doing something. It's pretty chill at the moment, yeah, because we haven't actually. It does come in real phases. So this phase at the beginning is very, yeah. I mean, the exploding planet, which I keep forgetting. Yeah, T minus, 28 years potentially now. Yeah, the exploding planet thing. But yeah, this phase, it's very Star Trek. You know, just literally, you've found this new place. Let's go have a look. Let's find out what's going on. Cool stuff, habitable planets. The problem is, at some point, we're going to hit, in true Paradox style, we're going to hit some other empires that we have to deal with. And then, yeah, the game is going to change a little bit. But that's fine. I'm okay with that. In fact, it's fun. Um, I'm going to send this guy up to Tiamat. I'm going to move him. I'm not going to build because I don't want to pay the extra cost. And my other guy, I believe, is already on route. So once this has been built, that will become half price because it's adjacent. Yeah, good for you. Another anomaly. A small rectangular object on the surface of this planet is deflecting all scanning beams like a mirror. Our sensors are unable to determine its material composition. Well, let's research it. Yeah, it's the same system, but I think it's a different planet. Yeah, one. I think that's the planet. Let's research that. Just go and have a quick look. Shunk. Yes, you can see the anomaly. There is only... Oh, yeah, there is only one planet. And it's a pretty bad planet at that, so... Yeah, no valid world to terraform into. That's a shame. Yeah, so the black hole. That's a really interesting system. So you've got exotic matter. We've got that really cool research project. And an anomaly. So yeah, let's go and let's leave them to it. I have no idea. Yeah, exactly. I have no idea. I think in this game, you could always just say aliens. Um, yeah, it must be orbiting very very fast. I mean, that's the one shame about the static solar systems. It would be really cool if they were moving around and things, but given it already puts a bit of pressure on a lot of CPUs, probably probably a level of graphics that's too much. I don't know if Paradox's programmers are all physicists. I might be doing them a disservice, mind. Magnetic reversal. The magnetic field of Azala 4 experienced a complete reversal while it was being observed by the ISS Hishama the Brooding. This rare event has interchanged the positions of the planet's magnetic poles. Cool. Fortunately, it was recorded by the sensors of our ship, providing scientists with a lot of valuable data. Excellent. Just some free research. Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? So there's loads and loads of cool little events and anomalies like that. So that's from one of the anomalies again. So we just if you're surveying dozens and dozens and dozens of planets, even if it's a sort of once in 10,000 year event, there's a chance that one of your science ships might stumble on it. It almost feels... The problem is sometimes with these events, it's like, whoa, if that happened on Earth, there would be chaos and all sorts of craziness. But in this game, one planet, it's not so important, one planet, so it just gives you a bit of research. But it's cool. I like it. So let's get that. Other thing I've spotted is we now have enough minerals to do something useful with these unemployed populations. So I'm going to get them making consumer goods. Um, because they're specialists, they won't farm. Well, they very, very slowly will change strata. Yeah, exactly, exactly. It would be a bit like this event happening. Um, let's make the civilian industries for now. And then at least one of the things we need for colonization, well, two of the things we need for colonization are looking okay. And so I don't forget, let's buy some food. Oh, it hurts. So you're doing that. You're doing that. And we have enough unity for a new tradition. So we can increase pop growth speed. I think I want to do that. We can also reduce ship upkeep. That's not crippling us at the minute. Starbase, sorry, upkeep. That's not crippling us at the minute. It's only 9 upkeep out of a total of 70. 20% of 9 is not enough to worry about. And we could reduce Empire Sprawl, which isn't completely daft, but I've just taken the decision I'm ignoring that for the minute. It is adding cost to tech and things like that, though. It's not a freebie. But yeah, let's go for the pop growth. Because I have a suspicion we're going to need all the pops we can get elsewhere once Bavababa goes boom. I think we're going to need every single pop we can get. Another anomaly in Rassalas. Yep. Challenging. Preliminary scans of 392646 indicate that a heavily armed vessel is in orbit of the asteroid. It would be wise to proceed with caution. It's only a level 3. I'll leave it for now. I'm tempted by that one purely because it sounds interesting. Which, that's what the game's got to be about. We're getting a decent number of anomalies. There's an anomaly in Grekil. Impressive structures litter a small area on the surface of Grekil 9A, practically begging for some archaeological work. And actually, that's a very routine one for this guy because it's the same level. So let's research. Get rid of that. Right. Oh no! It's not a great habitability. Well, it's still better than anything else we've got. Let's go have a quick look. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Honestly. So we're going to move from a world that is tectonically falling apart. It's okay. It's still, in terms of habitability, it could be a lot worse. But what is the game throwing at us? It's going to be good for engineering research. Oh, man. Believe it or not, I think there are things that add to habitability. I don't... there might be. I'm not sure offhand. Truthfully, I'm not sure offhand. I think we might be stuck with it. Certainly for the short to medium term, we're definitely stuck with it. On the other hand, it's still a huge planet. I don't think it will explode, is the good news. So it's not like our home world, at least. Well, we've got to go for it, haven't we? There's no other choice. But just every single planet being so uninhabitable it just feels harsh. So it's going to make my populations less happy as well. But I would be really happy to not be dead on another planet that blew up, even if this one does have a lot of earthquakes. Let's go with it. And we've got a science ship who can do some stuff. If we are going to go up this way, let's just see what a couple of the systems nearby look like. Just to get an idea if there's anything horrible lurking. Now this would be an awesome bottleneck choke point now. If you look, assuming we rush for that and get it, which we haven't seen any enemies, so it's fairly likely we will. We could potentially box off this whole area of space if we can get that one as well. Maybe I'm getting greedy given that my planet's blowing up, but you probably do want to get as many resources as you can in space. There's not really a good reason not to have it. Yeah, exactly. What if you can get it? Why wouldn't you get it? And there could be other habitable worlds in here. Um, so another of our anomalies has come in. An alien mural. While conducting surface scans of XT-81 Singularity 1, Science Officer Tetran and the crew of the ISS Alesna the Fortunate discovered what appears to be an artificially carved slab of rock covered in alien writing. They have not detected any other signs of alien activity on the planet, and exactly how this mural came to be here is a mystery. We have prepared a special project to translate the text. Nice. That system, in terms of flavour, is proven to be really good. So we now have a second special project from that system, Translate Alien Mural. So, Ruler has gained a trait. Through hard work and experience, Commissary General Rassa has developed new skills. Rassa now has the Eye for Talent trait. So we're going to have a quick look. So the Commissary General, I believe, is our leader. Yeah, brilliant. So these are Empire-wide bonuses. So we're in a democracy, so at some point we're going to have an election and we could lose this leader. There are things you can do. You can play tricks with the influence, for instance, to try and improve the chances of re-electing this person. But there is a possibility we'll lose them. So she's leveled up to level 3, which is great. So you can see it's giving us a unity boost. We're not using any edicts yet, but if we were, we'll give it a boost. But as before, extra trade, extra unity, and now leader experience gain plus 20, which is, yeah, I quite like that one. Would I prefer that? I probably prefer it to trade value. I just love unity. I think it's great. So yeah, that's a nice freebie. All of our leaders are going to level up faster. No, yes, I do. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it matters what's exploding. I think our people are really, really passionate Democrats. In fact, probably somewhere it'll tell us when the next election's due. Yeah, here we go. 2210. And, trivial details like the planet blowing up, that's not going to stop these guys. Which is a shame, really, because it's nice to have a few positive traits. But we'll see. There might be a leader who comes up with two really, really good traits. You can't really figure these people, I'm afraid. There we go. Another scientist has leveled up. And we've completed that outpost. So we now have this gateway within our space. Yeah. There's population growth. There's people who help with farm. Yeah, exactly. Colonization's where we need. I don't know if there's one for habitability. I think there's one for food, which would normally I wouldn't be too worried about, but right now would be handy. We've run out of minerals. Oh yeah, it's because I've been building. So this guy here might as well. That's a lovely looking planet. Just little touches. I love it when you look around a map and it just looks pretty. Can you see there's even some rings around it? Very faint. As well as the moon. But the colour, yeah, lovely looking planet. Let's mine it because it looks beautiful. And you should be able to build that cheaper now. Yeah. Space Engine. What's Space Engine? I've not seen that. Oh, nice. Did you ever play that? I haven't played it myself. Kerbal Space Program. You just look around and see cool astronomical formations. Is that like real world ones using stuff from the Hubble Space Telescope, or is it simulated stuff? It sounds cool. I think you remember that there's that very famous picture of the Horsehead Nebula. You think, oh man, oh wow. So what? You're traveling through space, and you can kind of potentially see the astronomical features close to our solar system. But then a bit further out, so basically, nearby it's real features. Further out, it just generates. Wow, space engine. I'm just going to make a quick note of that. I'm not going to. Might have a quick look at that later. Because why not? Oh, is it? Is that one of the ones that you can do VR as well? Because I've not got a single VR headset or game, but I know you did mention earlier you'd done quite a few VR things. So I think I might have mentioned earlier I'm a scientist, but basically a lab that I share, they do a lot of 3D imaging, and they use VR. So I've used the VR there to look at the objects. Really, really cool stuff. So do 3D imaging of ancient Egyptian artifacts and things like that. So just looking inside to see if you can find, well, just looking at what's inside. You know, if you find a little pot in a 3,000-year-old tomb, and you don't want to wreck it, but this looks like on a whole different scale. So the whole galaxy essentially. But yeah, if it's on Steam, I'm playing off Steam at the moment, so yeah, I will happily have a look for that. Um, cool. Yeah, I'll have to have a look at the VR. Like I say, there's the lab that I work in uses it largely for education. Um, but there was this game that I played with some friends where you have to defuse a bomb. That was really good fun as well. I definitely consider that. I can't remember what it was called. Probably something like "Don't let the bomb go off" or "Don't let it blow up." Hello, abandoned amusement park. Oh, really? Just make a quick note. Just gives you a feel for. Oh, keep talking and nobody explodes. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. It's a really fun game if you're with a few mates out for a party. Um, so because you can manipulate the box, move it around. Really enjoy it. Really, really enjoy it. Um, right. Just as we had a pause there, I'm just keeping a half eye on the time. Just bear in mind, I'm probably going to log off in 15 or 20 minutes. So just a bit of a heads up. I'm enjoying this Stellaris game. So I'll definitely come back to it next week. It's a bank holiday in the UK, so I could potentially play a bit tomorrow if people are interested. Because I have a day off and I'm stuck at home because of coronavirus anyway, so might as well enjoy it. So if you're interested, I can probably play this tomorrow as well. I don't know, you may be working, Kuro. In which case I'll leave it for the Sundays. I love that line, regardless to us Starfoxes. Not working at the moment. Yeah, it's a bit like that for all of us, I'm afraid. Um, I really love this line, regardless to us Starfoxes. That's a good line. Yeah, in which case I Yeah, why not? I've got time. I'll log on at midday tomorrow, same time I did today. Um, just to get the game going. And why not? If people are enjoying watching it, or single person, as far as I know, is enjoying watching it. Sorry, two. Magetta, I assume you're still there somewhere. Um, yeah, brilliant. Might as well enjoy it. Um, yeah, good, good. Um, it's essentially like a private viewing at a cinema or something, isn't it? You know, it's like, oh, I've got this whole cinema to myself. Um, but well, I was about to say long may it last. Obviously, I do hope we get more people chatting at some point. But I'm enjoying it for now. So yeah, I know, but I think it's a weird thing with streaming. Because obviously I've streamed a few times myself. You find your certain streamers and you really enjoy them, and you don't always go for new streamers. Um, so I realise it's going to take a while for people to come back. So if anyone is watching, please do follow. If nothing else, it makes me feel better, and you can obviously get the notifications if I'm coming online. Although I will try and keep it regular. Tomorrow at midday, obviously when I'm working, I won't be able to do Mondays at midday. Um, so Sunday at midday is going to be a regular. Wednesday evenings 9 is going to be a regular. But yeah, yeah, I think in terms of people not knowing what they miss, yeah, I think if people are looking for the absolute best game player in the universe, I'm probably not that player. If people are looking for someone who really wants to interact and chat and enjoy the game with people, that's me. It's so much more fun. So Magetta came on last night, and it was immediately lifting. And seeing you come on Kuro today as well, it's like, oh, this is brilliant. This is why I'm getting involved with this stuff. Um, anyway, we should play at least a little bit of the game though. We have an abandoned amusement park. Yeah, no, seriously, it's great. And just saying something in the chat as well. Um, I guess you don't know when you put a message in a chat. Oh, really? Well, it's good to be small. Yeah, I read a book called "Small is Beautiful." Actually, I said economics, green economics book, yonks and yonks ago. Um, I think that's the advantage of having a small stream, though. Again, those big streamers, if you had 1,000 people on here and the stream chat was moving like crazy, I mean, what chance have you got then? Um, Especially if you're sort of learning games and things, and trying to understand people's thinking. That's what you want. Um, I'm lucky you're looking for tiny streamers, by the way, because it's good to have someone chatting in a quiet stream. Um, I think it just makes the game more lively all round. I'm sure that if there are other people watching, having a bit of feedback from yourself is great as well. Right. Meanwhile, back on Grekel 9A, the structures on Grekel 9A are not as old as we first believed. It seems to be a playground or amusement park of some sort. Science Officer Mikab notices that many of the contraptions are highly complex creations that we can learn much from, and that to the builder's alien eyes this might have been a cutting-edge sensor array or even a gigantic art installation. Regardless, it looks mostly like a place where you would take your young and let them amuse themselves. So, yeah, some free engineering. In fact, quite a lot of free engineering. Again, I only generate 17 a month, so 317. Pretty good. So, yeah, anomalies. If you do play Stellaris, anomalies are well worth it. The only reason I'm avoiding some is purely for speed of expansion. So we've got that completed. So actually, this is the first system I've taken with science research in it, which is a bit bonkers, other than my homeworld, which doesn't really count. Um, Uh, oh yeah, fair dues. Money's always a problem, isn't it? Um, there's no rush. I mean, it's worth keeping an eye out. I think which game is it? They're looking to switch models as well for their games, and I would be very curious about this. I think it's EU4. At least one of the options they've got a subscriber option. So the old model for Paradox is game releases, and then several months down the line they release DLC, and some of the DLC is really game changing. But it does make it really, really expensive if you want to buy it at first. So I don't know how much Stellaris and all the DLC would be on Steam, but it would be pretty pricey, I'd imagine, even with reduced prices. Obviously, check out for sales as well. Whereas I think this new subscriber model that they're considering, one, it'll make the cost at the beginning. Yeah, yeah, I had a feeling it would be. Um, yeah, yeah, and then I would definitely go for the DLCs as well. They're pretty good though, even if you've just got the base game. Paradox always gives something to the base game for um, every DLC they do. Yeah, I mean I know what you mean. Um, but they are looking at a subscriber model as well. So obviously it'd be less money up front, um, but you'd also get access to all of the DLC. Uh, Long term, of course, you would be paying, I don't know, some price per month. I don't want to fire up another game in the background because that probably would lag my stream. So keep an eye out if they do switch to the subscriber models, because I think that would make it a lot more accessible. And instead of having bits of the game, you'd have everything. And with Paradox, you can trust that they will keep developing the game. So to give the flip side is I bought a recent Paradox game called Imperator Rome, which I have to be honest I wouldn't recommend at the moment. I love the idea, but it just doesn't have the flavour that something like Stellaris or Europa Universalis, or probably my favourite Paradox game is Crusader Kings 2. Doesn't so Imperator doesn't have that flavour, so I must admit I don't play it very much, but there is a good chance that in 6 months or a year, a lot of that flavour will come. I have a lot of faith in Paradox that they will keep developing their games, and especially these old ones. If you can if you can sub onto a game that's several years old, like Stellaris or Europa Universalis 4, they're really really good games. If you like lots of numbers, um, but you also want the flavour, so it's a really nice mix of both. Oh, we've run out of minerals. That's a bit annoying. So another example that economy at the beginning, it's very easy to run out of minerals. Just to save a tiny bit of time, I might as well put him in orbit of the next one I want to build. Oh, Total War. No, they're good games. Um, there's a lot going on. I think there's another streamer, and I forget which game he was playing, but it was a Paradox one, and he said, these are not games for really really casual players, because there is an awful lot going on. I'd say if you can get a Paradox game, just don't expect to get everything right away. Um, you can really get into it via easy modes. In some of the other games, um, you know, like Europa Universalis, just play a big nation at the beginning. They're very forgiving. You don't need to learn every single trick right at the beginning. Um, yeah, sure. If you really really want to get the absolute perfect gameplay, there's a lot to learn, but you can play it well and enjoy it quite quickly. But I do enjoy some of the Total War games. Leave that one for now. There's a lot. I think that was 3 anomalies in that system as well. Yeah, Total War. I love the Rome Total War, which is quite old now. Really good game. Really, really good game. Just get you building because we've got enough minerals. The food again is dropping. Yeah, but I mean, take it the other way round. I quite enjoy first person shooters sometimes. Um, but I'm rubbish at them, so I'll be turning on easy mode if I'm playing. I think you mentioned Halo and Doom as well earlier. Things like Halo and Doom. I'm not going to be playing them on max difficulty. I'm going to be playing them on easy mode. Um, but I mean, these games are games that you get better at with play, which is why some of these guys who more or less professionally stream Stellaris and games like that, they are really good. If you want to know all these little technical details, you can get all sorts of useful information out. It's really, really interesting. Um, oh, here we go. So this is the first aliens, I think, space amoebas. The entities encountered by our fleet some time ago are new, wondrous forms of spaceborne life. Quickly nicknamed space amoeba following an analyst's gross misreading of initial sensor data output. The creature is in fact larger than the average Starfox corvette. Not that we have many of them, we've only got three. Um, probably, sorry, just a complete tangent. There is a reason I built an extra alloy plant. If we did encounter a hostile alien race, I do want to be able to build ships relatively quickly. And alloys are what you do for building ships. So if we do need more corvettes, we're quietly building up the resources for that. Okay. Quickly nicknamed Space Amoeba following an analyst's gross misreading of initial sensor output. The creature is in fact larger than the average Starfox corvette. We should leave it be and remotely monitor its kin from Vababa. So we've got a few options. We can basically hunt them down, get damage and cash, damage them more easily and get cash. Our ships are still woefully inadequate for dealing with a fleet this big though. So, I mean, we could do it, but let's see. Fascinating creatures, we can study them. Or we can learn to coexist. I can't remember how big this planet was. Don't know if you remember. Kuro or Magetta. Just having the option of not killing them if we've got a good planet there could be quite interesting. Be one with the space amoebas. Oh yeah, the Star Trek. Yeah, yeah. Alright, go on. That tells me what I need to know. We can learn to coexist. We might not want to do the coexistence project straight away, but let's line it up. Go to the situation log. Yeah, I think I probably do want to get a bit of research in first. Mind you, habitable planet. Well, we've got a bit of time to think about it. We need to finish breathe in, breathe out. Okay. Oh, and we've still got another special project, which is investigate beta aliens. Mind you, that was a 5,000 as well. Oh no, 500. Yeah, let's do that one. That's these guys down here. Let's do that. Right. Well done for telling me that. Construction complete. We're still a bit short on minerals. Ugh. Can be a bit frustrating in the early game. But they have to make it difficult somehow. Or else what's the point? Everyone's doing something. You have slot for a building, which is nice. Probably want to build food production next anyway, which is a district. Just worth saying, Kuro, if you haven't played a lot, districts and buildings are different. So building a district doesn't influence how many buildings you can make, and vice versa. So you get more buildings as population, and they're in addition to districts. So districts are more like primary manufacturing. So you've got a place for making food, a place for mining, a place for generating electricity, and cities, which is basically places you can live in. Um, so building this doesn't affect your building slots, strangely. Right, we are 8 years in. We have got one planet colonised. We're nearly there with one. Sorry, nearly colonised. No, sorry, I can't hear you, mate. I'm afraid. Yeah, it's kind of the problem. I'm afraid. Good. So that system's done. He can come up here and take care of that. Do we want to get the singularity in? Just thinking about what we want to do. I suppose it's only 3 to here. I might go for that choke point as well. And we can worry about everything else that's in here later. Yeah, let's do it. There is a rare crystals that will come in handy later as well. Let's do it for now. And we've fully surveyed a system down there. Right, Kuro, Magetta, and anyone else who's watching, I think, as I kind of warned, time's getting little bit tight. So on a Sunday evening, I'm going to be talking to family and things like that. So it'll be pretty much to midday till 4 next week as well. I will log on at midday to continue playing this because as a one-off, it is a bank holiday and it's just great to have someone enjoying it. So I will log on at midday and see if you're around, Kuro, or Magetta. Yeah, cool. In which case, yeah, I'll definitely log on midday tomorrow, UK time. So I guess that's an hour out for you. But I'll see you then. Enjoy your evening. And if you do follow me, you'll spot I do come on playing casually another Paradox game at the moment, Europa Universalis. So, yeah, please, everyone, have a great evening. Enjoy the sunshine if you've got it. I've got a little bit here. And stay safe. Yeah, you too, Kiro.